Good morning, dear students. This is Dr. Priyanka, and today we will have a look at types of research. Research can be basically divided in two parts. One is basic research, and another one is applied research. Business research can even be divided into other parts, that is exploratory research and conclusive research. These are more or less another names of basic and applied research. And then conclusive research can be divided in two parts, that is descriptive research and causal research. Let us discuss them one by one, and we can even understand them with the help of some examples. Basic research, this is purely for academic purpose, or you can say this is basically to attempt to expand your limits of knowledge, and it is not directly involved in any kind of solution. Let us understand with the help of one example. Is executive success correlated with high need for achievement or not? It will just tell us whether this is possible or not, right? It might give us some idea whether this is correlated or not, but to actually check whether it is correlated or not, we'll have to go for applied research. Are members of highly cohesive work groups more satisfied than members of less cohesive work groups? To know this, we need to we need to read, or we need to discuss with people more and more. That is how basic research is. Do consumers experience cognitive dissonance in low involvement situations? So you can have a look by looking at the questions, that it is generally for to expand your knowledge. It is even known as fundamental research, or it can even be known as pure research, that is for pure understanding. The secret of success is to know something nobody else knows. That is how basic research is. Next is applied research. Applied research basically is known as action research, or we can even call it as practical approach research. This is conducted when a decision must be made about a specific real life problem, or to solve any kind of problem in organizations. Let us understand this also with the help of an example. Should McDonald's add Italian pasta dinners to its menu? So the answer came after the research, and it was business research told McDonald's that it should not. Another example, should Procter and Gamble add a high-priced home teeth bleaching kit to its product line? And the answer is Crest White Stripers would sell well at a retail price of $44. So research helps a lot sometimes. These are actually the basic research types. Number one, basic or applied research, which we just discussed. Basic research means this is pure research. This is just for the purpose of knowledge, to expand your knowledge. And applied research is action research, practical approach of the research, right? And another one is exploratory or exclusive research. Exploratory means to explore something. For example, you want to know something about the topic, you'll be exploring about the topic again and again, either through internet or through books or through magazines, or you might even go and ask people about the same thing, right? That is, these all are the examples of basic research, or you can say exploratory research. Exclusive research is basically conclusive research. Exclusively, we generally say this word so many times, exclusively for this. That means you have a problem in your hand and you want to solve that particular problem. That means it would be generally conducted for a purpose. When we are talking about exploratory or basic research, we do not generally have a purpose, like we want to find out this and that. It is just that we want to just know about something. But when it comes to applied research, exclusive research, or we can even call it as conclusive research, then we definitely have a purpose. And this exclusive or say conclusive research can be further divided into parts. That is, another one is descriptive or causal research. When we are talking about basic research or exploratory research, we are just saying that we are exploring the thing. We are trying to generate a problem. We are trying to generate a question for ourselves. right? Now when we have a question in hand, or we can say we have a problem in hand, then we will be going for exclusive or applied research, conclusive research. That is again divided in two parts, that is descriptive and causal. Now we will be deciding whether we are going for descriptive or causal research once we have decided that we are not going for basic research. But in general, whenever you are doing research, you will always go for basic research first. For example, you will be exploring yourself, like whether should you uh, research on this topic, how should you research this on this topic. That is generally basic or exploratory research. After doing some exploratory research, you come to a conclusion that whether you will be describing the things in this particular topic, or you will be trying to find a relationship of some variables or something like that, right? So for first, you will be always going for exploratory or basic research, then only you will be heading towards applied research, conclusive research, exclusive research. And then at this particular time, you will be deciding whether you are going for descriptive or you are going for causal research. Descriptive research, as the name suggests, is generally describing in nature. You are trying to describe variables, or you are trying to describe the things at hand. For example, you want to check how many students in a class have passed. Suppose 50 students are there and 46 have passed, 4 have failed. So you will be describing this particular data in a manner that, like, 92% students passed and 8% students failed. You will not be giving any reason at that at all in describing research. So descriptive basically is describing information. It is like you will be gathering some information, you will be describing that particular information, and you will be summarizing the information in descriptive research. But when it comes to causal research, you will be taking that descriptive data, you will be taking those tables which you formed in descriptive analysis, descriptive research. Basically, you will be analyzing why it happened. You'll be analyzing why 4 students failed in a class of 50. You'll be analyzing that through some, some situations and all. That is how causal research is. You will be trying to define a relationship between whether students were not coming to the class, whether teacher was not performing in the class. So on that basis, you'll be trying to find out that whether why the students failed. So that would be called as causal research. I'm again repeating, descriptive means you will just be describing the data, and in causal research, you will be giving the reasons. Another type is descriptive or analytical research. When you comes to when it is about descriptive research, descriptive basically is describing things, describing, like we just discussed in descriptive or causal. And analytical research means you will be describing the data plus you will be analyzing the situation properly. Again, we can call them descriptive or causal research. Then comes qualitative or quantitative research. When we are talking about qualitative research, we are talking about quality, and we are talking about quantitative research, we are talking about quantity. That means we are talking about numbers. Quantitative research is more or less about like descriptive research, right? You will be describing things, you will be giving some reasons as well, you will be analyzing things through some softwares, some tools and everything, right? But it is more or less dependent on numbers. But when it comes to qualitative research, it is more or less describing the behavior of people. You'll be analyzing people's behavior, you'll be analyzing properly why it happened, how it happened. You'll be going in detail. It is less concerned with numbers, more concerned with behavior. Then conceptual or empirical research. Conceptual means clarification and understanding of concept. Again, it is more or less basic or exploratory research. You'll be clarifying all the concepts you are going to read or you are going to analyze. And empirical research basically is related to numbers. It is Not exactly applied research, but yes, it is like that. When we talk about applied research, we say that we have a problem in hand and we are going to solve that, right? When we talk about research, we say that we'll be empirically analyzing that particular thing, will actually with the help of numbers. When we say that we are going to uh, solve something with the help of applied research, we don't always say that we are using numbers. But when it comes to empirical research, definitely we are going to use numbers. Empirical research cannot be conducted without the help of numbers. You'll be introducing numbers in one or the other form. Even if you are analyzing someone's behavior, how would you do empirical research in that? You will be analyzing person's behavior on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 to 5, 1 to 7, so that you get numbers in the form of data. And then you will be applying different tools so as to getting up to some conclusion. These are all basic research types we use in business research. Type of research can be on the basis of time as well. One is cross-sectional research, another one is longitudinal research. Cross-sectional research is basically for example, you are reviewing a company, you are analyzing a company for over 10 years, or you are comparing two companies for their performance. That is cross-sectional. Like you are just taking one thing in picture, like either you are comparing two companies in same year, or you are comparing one company for 2 years. That is cross sectional. You are taking just one parameter. But when it comes to longitudinal, either you are comparing the data over years, over 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, or you are comparing the same data, or you are comparing the data for years as well as for companies. These terms are called panel data or cohort. Then environment based. We always hear about life sciences, medical sciences, that they just found out a medicine for some disease and they are going to experiment it, right? That is basically related to medical field. Field study means that we are just going into the field and trying to find out things in general, normal, natural circumstances. But when it comes to laboratory experiment or laboratory research, you will be controlling some instruments, you will be controlling some conditions in the laboratory. For example, you will set up two groups of people, maybe 10 people in each group, or even one person each in two groups. And you will be giving them, one group will not be given them any medicine, and another will be given medicine. So you will be checking whether the medicine worked or not, right? That is also kind of laboratory research. Or you can form two groups. One group would be left free, and they'll be doing anything they want, but another group would be under the radar, like they know that they are being uh, they are being analyzed, they are being checked on over their behavior and everything. Then the result will be different. So that is also a kind of laboratory research when it comes to business research about their behavior. Then simulated, so many simulations we apply one over the other. That is again a medical science research. Then about depth of research, it's clinical or diagnostic. Sometimes we are just trying to diagnose what the problem is, or sometimes we are trying to find out the solution. That's the difference. Next is history based. This is archaeology research. Then structure based researches are also there, how the company is structured and why it is structured. Exploratory or formalized research. Exploratory again is basic research. You are just going to explore, or we even call it unformalized research. You have not decided what you are going to do, but you are going to conduct a research. And formalized research means you have selected like what you will be doing, you know what you are going to do, you actually have research questions and you are going to solve them. That is generally we call as formalized research. Last is conclusion oriented or decision oriented research. Sometimes you are just going, you know that this is true, but you are just going to check it through business research, that is conclusion oriented research. Sometimes you have to take decision on the basis of research, that is decision oriented research. For example, you know that your company is facing some problem in production, and you already know what are the parameters which are, creating troubles in the company. So you just want to check them. Then you will be setting parameters accordingly, and you'll find out whether they are the actual parameters which are going to disturb you or not. Then the only thing is, you will be selecting only those variables which you feel like that creating problems. But when it comes to decision oriented, you will have to consider all the variables in the company, all the parameters possible, so that you can actually know whether these were creating problems or not. Decision oriented research are little one step ahead than conclusion oriented research. Evaluation research. This research is the formal objective measurement and appraisal of the extent to which a given activity, project, or program has achieved its objectives. This is basically, used in companies to evaluate their employees. Like this particular employee, performed performed up to this extent last month, and on the same parameters he's performing in this particular way in this month. Evaluation research generally performed on the basis of scales. For example, Likert scale. For example, 5-point scale, 7-point scale, 10-point scales. You just rate a person on some basis, and then you evaluate whether he performed well or not. Evaluation is generally done again and again in the organization, so as to know whether they are performing on the same scale or they are not. Then performance monitoring research. It is more or less like evaluation research. Evaluation can be done even in the cases of machineries, instruments, and all that. Performance monitoring research is also done on all of them, but still, this is basically to provide feedback for evaluation and control. I know that if for example, if employees are performing well, then it's okay. But if they are not performing well, then you need a quality check. Plus, you might need something that might motivate them to perform well. So this is only for that, evaluation and control. If you feel like that employees get motivated to work, they will be doing good work only if you tell them that you'll be giving them bonuses. They'll get benefited through one or the other way. Then only if they do good work, then this is very important, performance monitoring research. Because if you monitor their performance and they know it, then they'll be behaving well, they'll be doing good in company. That indicates things are or are not going as planned. Suppose you have formed an objective, and you know that you will be completing this particular objective in 1 month. So then you can monitor that particular objective every week, so that you know whether the things are going as planned or not. Research may be required to explain why something went wrong. Sometimes we know that something went wrong, but we don't know why it went wrong. So that for that you can go for research, and for that you will be going for applied research, because you will be taking all the parameters in the company, you will be checking whether this was right or wrong, everything, and then you will be trying to find out relation between among them. Total quality management. Total research is basically needed for total quality management as well. A business philosophy that embodies the belief that the management process must focus on integrating customer driven quality throughout the organization. It stresses continuous improvement of product quality and service. How would you continually improve the product? By researching it, by checking it again and again, that whether it is performing well or not. And that can be done with the help of research. Managers improve durability and enhance features as the product ages, and that is also done with the help of research. Managers strive to improve delivery and other services to keep their companies competitive, again with the help of research, and this is generally done with the help of feedback services. You ask your customers about the feedback of the product, and then you try to improve your product accordingly. Cross functional teams. To do all this, we generally go for cross functional teams. Cross functional teams are composed of individuals from various organizational departments such as engineering, production, finance, and marketing, who share a common purpose. For example, I know today that my company is facing a big problem, but I don't know from which department it is. So what I'll do is I'll have to explore all the departments of the organization to check from where the problem is coming. So I will have to take one person at least from every department, so that I can check with from where the problem is coming. That is called exploratory research, and then you will be conducting the applied research in the same example, because uh, to know the problem you have to go for a basic research, exploratory research. You have to explore the things when you have some idea that yes, problem is coming from this particular thing. For example, machineries are old, or maybe employees are not working well, or maybe you have purchased new machinery but employees are not going well with that. So there are so many reasons, and you will be coming to know about those reasons through exploratory research only. So that is very important to know whether in which condition you should be going for basic or exploratory research, or in which condition you will be going for applied research. Very basic thing is, when you don't know from where the problem is, then you will be going for exploratory research, and when you have some slight hint that yes, this is the problem, but you don't know how much problem is occurring because of that particular thing, or why this problem is happening because of that particular thing, then you can go for applied research as well. Some questions to assess yourself after this lecture. Describe a situation Describe a situation where business research is not needed and a situation where business research is needed. What factors differentiate the two situations? You can take an example of a firm and decide and put two situations in which in out of which one might be the one where business research might be needed, and another one should be the one where business research is not needed. And you can list down the factors which might differentiate the two situations. For example, there is a firm where there is no problem, right, and where employees are working well, where production is happening as per the need and everything. You can take one ideal firm, and in the same sector you can take another firm in which problems are going on, like either employees are facing some problems or production is not going well. So you can list down some factors, but try to take all the factors into consideration: finance factors, marketing factors, HR factors, production factors, and even other miscellaneous factors, so that you so that you come to know what are the possible factors to affect a business. Second question is, for what specific purposes is basic research important? Try to answer this question with free mind. You can take any example, like you can take the example of your own college or institute. You can take example of nearby shop. You can take example of any business. Next question is, when is applied research as distinct from basic research useful? This question is basically trying to ask you that when we know that applied research is different from basic research, when this particular situation is useful for us, you have to tactfully answer this with the help of example of an organization or any kind of business or even a person's behavior. Explain giving reasons which is more important, applied or basic research, because everything we have studied today is based on applied or basic research. That is why questions are also related to that. Applied or basic research how, I mean, which one is more important. You have to give some reasons. See, basic research is also important, and applied research is also important. The only thing is their circumstances would differ. So you have to actually give reasons where basic research is important and where applied research is important, right? Next question is, what is the difference between qualitative and quantitative research? You have to list down all the differences between qualitative and quantitative research. When you list down all the differences for these two, it would be very helpful for you in another coming upcoming topics. Thank you.